again for joining me. This week, if you can guess, we are going to be reading another story from Joseph's life, and it's going to teach us another way that we can treat other people how God wants us to treat them. So let's get right into our story. This week, it's a little bit of a different story, but it's still from Joseph's life. So as we've been looking at the life of Joseph, we've seen lots of unfortunate things happen to him, right? At the end of last week's story, Joseph was sent to prison for something that he didn't even do. Today, we are going to learn about Joseph's experiences in prison. While Joseph was in prison, God was kind to him and allowed the prison guard to like Joseph. The prison guard even put him in charge of everything at the prison. God made Joseph successful in everything. So just like he was in charge of everything at Potiphar's house, God put Joseph in charge of everything at the prison now. While Joseph was in charge, 2 men were sent to prison. These men worked for Pharaoh. One was Pharaoh's wine taster, and the other was his baker. They did something that made Pharaoh angry, and he punished them by sending them to jail. One night, the 2 men had scary dreams. These dreams had special meanings. When Joseph saw them the next day, he noticed that they looked sad. Instead of just walking past them, he showed kindness and asked why they were sad. Joseph told the men that God knew what their dreams meant. Joseph asked God for wisdom about the dreams. The wine taster's dream meant something good. He was going to be released from prison. But the baker's dream meant something bad. He was going to die. No, that's not a good dream to have. Things happened just as Joseph said they would. But when the wine taster was released from prison, he forgot Joseph's kindness. Joseph remained in prison for another 2 years. Then Pharaoh had 2 bad dreams. He asked many people to interpret his dreams, and nobody could do it. Then the wine taster remembered Joseph and told Pharaoh about the dreams Joseph interpreted in prison. So Pharaoh sent for him at once. Joseph told Pharaoh that God would give him the wisdom to interpret his dreams. Joseph was kind to Pharaoh by listening to him and telling him the meaning of the dream. Pharaoh's dreams meant something important that would affect the entire country. According to the dreams, there would be 7 years of famine in the country. It's not fun to hear that the country you lead would experience hunger. Even though it may have been hard for Pharaoh to hear, Joseph showed kindness to Pharaoh by being honest about the dreams. What were some ways that Joseph was showing kindness in the story? Let's see. He cared about the prisoners when he saw them that they were sad. He listened to their dreams and interpreted them for them. And he told Pharaoh the truth about his dream, even though it was kind of scary to hear. Joseph could have been bitter about going to prison. I think I probably would be. He also could have been mean to others while he was there. Instead, he chose to love being kind to others. That's exactly what God wants from us. He wants us to love being kind in the way we treat other people. So it can be kind of hard to remember to be kind to people when our lives are kind of scary or tough at certain times. But there's one thing that can help us remember to be kind. Can you guess what it is? Our memory verse. Good job. So our memory verse is, the Lord has told you what is good. He's told you what he wants from you. To do what's right to other people, and to love being kind to others, and to live humbly obeying your God. That's in Micah 6 verse 8. I also have an activity for you guys to do today. It's a little bit of a surprise. I'm gonna have an activity for you guys to do with your family. So it's not just for you, it's for your whole family. It's gonna help you practice being kind to other people. So what I want you guys to do at some point today, it doesn't have to be right now, but whenever you guys have time, I want you all to sit around the table together, and I want you to think of 1 or 2 things that each person is good at or something that you like about them. And then I want you to go around the table and take turns telling each person the 1 or 2 things that you thought of that they're good at, or maybe something that you like about them, or whatever it is. And I want you to practice saying kind things to each other and starting with your family is a good place to start because it's usually easier. And then when we all go back to school or back to work or whatever, we can continue saying kind things to other people, right? So I hope you have fun with that activity today. Thanks for listening, and I hope you have a great week. See you.